Welcome to Trading Nation. I'm Seema Modi. One area of the market getting a lot of attention, steel stocks. They've been on the move, not just today, but on the week as well. The SLX ETF hitting a new 52-week high on Friday as hopes around an economic recovery and higher infrastructure spending under Joe Biden fueling this part of the market. Now I'm joined by Gina Sanchez of Chantico Global and Lido Advisors and Bill Baruch of Blue Line Capital. Guys, happy Friday to both of you. And Gina, I guess part of it is the infrastructure spending that we could see under President-elect Biden when he's in the office, but also the better than expected economic data out of China helping these steel stocks outperform.
Yes, and in China, it's a combination of both the better than expected economic data, but also the economic stimulus plans that are planned. Chinese production for steel is already up to an all-time high, and it's going to take the rest of the world to catch up to that. And that is really going to be predicated on the reopening, how quickly we can get back to normal activity. But also that Biden plan is specifically has an angle that is really about buying U.S. And there, companies like U.S. Steel, various ETFs that have U.S. steel components, those are really going to benefit. Because if you look at the U.S. and the rest of Europe, they still have quite a bit of catching up to do compared to China.
On that note, Bill, Gina laying out the points as to what's behind this big move in steel stocks and factors like the economic data coming out of China, also this infrastructure spending that could sort of see some movement in early 2021. With that said, are there certain names here that investors should keep an eye on?
Listen, this move has happened, and it's already moved 30%. The ETF SLX, it's moved 30% since that Monday, Monday, November 9th, from the Pfizer news. And what I'm looking at is there is room still to the upside, but I wouldn't be chasing any names at this point. I mean, you're looking at U.S. Steel up 10%. I mean, today. I mean, the markets have already moved, and I don't think that narrative really brings a lot of value at this point. But don't get me wrong, there still is room to move. I think the SLX can get to $50. A number of tailwinds you mentioned, but one other thing that's a bigger backdrop here is the President Trump's trade war with China. One of the big targets was steel and the dumping that China has done. China, with over 50% of the world's steel production, is big competition to the U.S., although it is a much lower quality. So that narrative, that trade war, has suppressed the exports of China, and we're at new lows. This has been a tailwind to the U.S. names and ex-China names. So I think there is going to be buying opportunities, but not at this point. I think the tailwinds are there, and if you're not in it right now, you don't want to be chasing this stuff. But there's going to be some opportunities, I think, through middle part of next year that you can start looking at investigating some of those individual names out there. But again, this is a big tailwind of a breakout from a trend line from 2018.
That's such a great point on the topic of trade. Gina, final word to you.
Well, Bill brings up a really important point. And in fact, one of the reasons that you saw U.S. Steel pop was really because of shortages of steel and steel production. So I still think that as the economy opens up, we're seeing demand across all the industrial metals, not just steel. We're also seeing demand back for oil coming back up. And so all of these are reopening trades. And we're going to have to watch the reopening carefully because there may be issues with the vaccine production. There's lots of things between now and then that could change that. We could open more quickly. We could open more slowly. But this is definitely tied to that.
Got it. Makes sense. And to your point, we'll see how long it can last, just given the complexity around that vaccine rollout. Gina and Bill, thank you. Great conversation.